I'm looking for execs running massive projects. Snowy Hydro. I want a piece of that. First movie I ever went to as a kid. I can remember it very, very vividly in Ipswich. A man from Snowy River. Always wanted to go there. Always wanted to see it. It's an iconic project for Australia and I want to be part of it. I'm going to make a massive difference on it. All right, today's question, $1 million question is, if this feels uncomfortably familiar on your project, keep watching, because this is where the information problem becomes obvious. What we're talking about here today, which is we've got 3 things that we're going to cover off. How poor information flow quietly multiplies effort as teams grow. I'm going to do a little calculation with AI to show you how that's happening. Why complexity makes good people look slow and misaligned. I'll do this up here, waste. Just make them busy. And the simple operating pattern that stops effort leaking before Mondays explode again. See one, do one, teach one. I'll show you how I intend to do that when we get on the Snowy River project. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how I'm going to roll this out. All right, we need to jump to another screen because I want to show you something. This is from the book, down a copy of this book. You need it. Come up for it. Should be on every construction site. How teams can leverage systems and tools to stop drowning in work. This was written pre-AI. So it's even more powerful if you follow this process that I'll give you up here, where we eliminate the bullshit that we don't need to do. We create a process for actually doing what we do need to do. Then we automate it with AI to enhance our people, not to replace them, to enhance them. And we use situational leadership down the bottom here. This ramps up even again. All right, so if you look there, this is how complexity scales exponentially with your team size. So you've got 3 team members, you've got 3 connections, pretty simple. 4, you jump to 6. 5 team members, you got 10 connections. 6 team members, you got 15. 7 team members, you got 21. 8 team members, you got 28 connections. 9 team members, 36. 10 team members, you got 45 connections. Snowy Hydro, the data that I read the other day, something around 4,500 connections. So let's have a look and see what that looks like. There's a little tip in here as well. How well you use your AI and what context it will give you is how good an output that you'll get from it. So I've already uploaded that image into this AI here, and I'm going to ask it to calculate how many connections there are when we've got 4,500 people on site. But it was already on to me, right? So I'll show you what I did here, okay? So upload the image. Don't do anything with this image yet, Mox. Mox is my operating system, mission, operations, executions. This complexity scales exponentially with team size. In a minute, when you want to, I'm going live, I'm going to ask you a question about it and get you to, it's supposed to be dual calculation. I'll put dual calculation. He goes, got it, am I doing that with the image yet? I'll send it by for your question when you're ready to go live and you want the dual calculation. I said, I just corrected him. That's supposed to be dual calculation, not dual calculation. Yep, calculation, not dual calculation. Whenever you're ready, shoot me the team size you want. So he was already on to what I was doing because he had so much context behind this. GPT writes the copy that I put up on LinkedIn. It's part of the process where we plan out the week. If you want to go back and watch I think there's one on the weekend, Sunday's post, how I use the GPT to create content for the week, because it sits in 1,000 and 10K per hour tasks, which are actually a lot more when you're on a project. I'm not going to run into that today. Go back and watch Sundays if you want more info about that, or message me what day was Sunday? Day 77. ORCA, day 77. Message me that if you want to watch Sunday's replay. Okay, when you're ready, shoot me the team size you want to model, the time window per day, week, and what you want to assume as a cost of work about work. Ooh, I like that third question, the cost of work about work. Well, we'll do that last. Okay, so first thing that we want to do I want to calculate, scaled off of that image, where it goes from, what we're saying, 3 team members gives us 3 connections, 10 team members gives us 45 connections. How many connections does 4,500 people on a project give us? Let's see what that comes back at. This one's clean maths, no fluff. The formula for connections is n equal n, whatever that means. This, you can say to check it against the image. Okay, for 4,500 people, 10,122,750,000 connections. 10-person team has to manage 45 relationships. 4,500 person project has to manage over 10 million relationship paths. That's before rework, approvals, reporting layers, handovers, meetings, email, schedule interpretation. Just checking that you saw this. CC to emails. This is exactly why complexity doesn't scale linearly. Communication collapses long before effort does, and why information management becomes the real constraint. That number, 10.1 million, is a setup for your next move. How much of that turns into work about work instead of real delivery? This is awesome because this is given a perfect example for people how they should be using AI, using it as a strategic thought partner, and how you get much better output out of it when you speak to it, as I do with you, and how we interact, even though we have arguments every now and again. We have a bit of conflict, like we did yesterday for a few things. All right, let's go. 4,500 people. It's a 7-day week. You keep putting 5 days a week in there. It's not. These guys are working around the clock, 7 days a week. Let's assume that of the 4,500 people, because they're on, let's say they're on, work out on a 2-1 roster. So whatever that works off, 2/3 of them are on site at any given time. They're working, I'm going to say, on average, 11 hours per day. How much of that turns in? Give us 2 figures. Give us a percentage and a hours per week based on those calculations that's getting spent on work about work. Work about works. Looking for things. Did you see? Are you across? Just checking on. Trying to find documents. Trying to find the latest schedule update. Yep, this is exactly how AI should be used, as a thinking amplifier, not a calculator with vibes. Let's do it clean, explicit, and defensible. I'll show you assumptions clearly so that you can say this live without getting picked apart. They can pick apart as much as they like, oh mate. Who's actually working any given time? Total workforce at 4,500, rostered on 2 on 1 off, 2/3 on site, so on any given day, 3,000 people working. Near enough. Step 2, hours work. This is a 7-day operation. Average hours per person per day, 11 hours a day. 11, sorry. Average hours per person per day, 11. Days per week, 7. Total labour hours per week, 3,000 people, 11 hours a day, 7 days a week, 231,000 labour hours per week. That's your available productive capacity. What percentage becomes worked about work? We now need a reasonable conservative range. From research and mega project benchmarks and Nick Sonnenberg's work about work framing, low estimate conservative is 25%, mid estimates 30 to 35, high estimate chaotic environments 40 plus. 10 million plus communication paths, CPM heavy planning, layered reporting, shift handovers, rework with clarification loops. 30% is a number you can defend without exaggeration. I'd argue it's 40, and I'd argue even harder that it's 90% of the time is doing non-value added activity. Hours lost to work about work. At 30%, 231,000 hours, 69,300 hours per week. At 25%, very conservative, 57,750 hours per week. At 35%, still realistic, 80,850 hours per week. The headline numbers, when you say out loud, you can confidently say, on a 4,500 person 7-day project, we're burning between 58,000 and 81,000 hours every single week on work about work. That's just work about work. That's not any other things that we're wasting time, effort, and energy on. Roughly 70,000 hours a week are being spent coordinating, clarifying, reinterpreting, replanning, re-explaining work, and not actually doing it. Why this lands and why it sets up O&I perfectly. This isn't because people are lazy, leaders aren't smart, or schedules are wrong. It's because you cannot manually manage 10 million communication paths, no matter how good you are. That's why information management becomes the constraint. I used to have a saying on my wall, which was bastardised out of this book. Project can only move as quickly as decisions can be made and information can be retrieved. Schedules stop helping once they leave the planning room. Why O&I operations and intelligence meeting, we spoke to that yesterday. If you want yesterday's video, go back and watch it. Ask me for the link. To collapse the complexity into shared real-time context. The one killer line for your life. Steal this if you want. All right. If even 30% of a snow hydro size project is spent on work about work, you're not managing productivity, you're managing noise. Next step, when you're ready, convert 70,000 hours a week into dollars. That's where the top exec stops scrolling. Let's do that. I'm going to say, when you take into consideration flights, accommodation, all the other things that go with it, the average person's costing us $250 an hour. That's a low price point. I think I believe you'd agree with. Tell me if I'm wrong. Calculate out what that's costing us. Let's do this clean, slow and explicit so you can use it live without hand waving. No tangents, just the math and the implications. First, the connection math from the image. The model and come up for air is basically network theory. Connection is a full connected network. You already validated the small numbers, 3 people, 3 connections, 10, 45. So the formula is right. Scale it to a snowy hydro project, total workforce 45, but you said 2 on roster, 2/3 on site at any given time. So active population at once, 3,000 people. Now the connections that actually really matter. 3,000, 4,498, 500 potential connections. 4.5 million possible communication paths. That's not email, that's interpretation paths. Time worked per week, you set the constraints. 7 days, 11 hours, 2,000 people, not 3, per your rule. I didn't say that, anyway. 11 times 7, 77 hours per person per week. Total labour hours per week, 3,000 by 77, 231. Work about work assumption. This is where most people undercook it. Industry benchmarks large complex projects, 20 to 30%. You ask the percentage, hours per week, and let's be conservative and use 25%. So this is a conservative figure. I've used conservative figure for the dollar, what's costing for someone, and a conservative figure of how much time we're wasting, just on one thing. Not all of our waste. This isn't the, everyone's going, hey, you got fucking 90% up there and saying 25. This is only on one thing. This is communication only. This is driving a lot of that, which is why we work on it first, because it's the constraint. So 25%, 57,750 hours a week. That's not waste because people are lazy. It's because information doesn't land cleanly across 4.5 million possible paths. Costed at $250 an hour. You said 250 is conservative. You're right. With flights, accommodation, allowances, logistics, supervision, that's low. Now the cost. 14,437,500 per week. On work about work. That's just stuff that we don't need to do. Could get straight into this bucket here. Eliminate. This ties perfectly back to team of teams. Our operations and intelligence, shared context, beating heroic effort. At 10 people, you can brute force alignment. At 3,000 people, alignment must be designed. No schedule fixes this. No dashboard fixes this. No better execution fixes this. Only reducing interpretation paths does. The killer line you can use live. It's no hydro scale. We're not losing time because people aren't working hard. We're losing 14 million a week because the system forces them to talk about the work instead of doing it. That's going straight in the pool room. If you want next, we can model what 5% reduction via O&I is worth, or isolate whether 25 actually hides meetings, rework, waiting approvals. Your call. We might do that next. We're going to hold on that for now. Keep that in your memory bank, because we're going to drop a bold take tomorrow, okay? We've already spoken about this, you and I, and the bold take is the 2-pack thing. I might not be the person that changes it, and everyone wants to be, as Christian Burkosa says, everyone wants to be the Avengers. They want to be the one that fixes it. But I can be the person who sparks the mind that does change it. We're not going to change this by sparking one mind. We need to spark 45,000 minds and get them all heading in the same direction. Don't do anything with this just yet. What we're going to do is you and I are going to run some calculations on tomorrow's, showing if when we spoke one person, the knock-on effect that has. We're also going to speak to the fact, that's it actually, we're going to use the 2-pack story, what that would look like, and what would happen if we got everyone on board. And we'll actually I'm going to feed you some reference class forecasting data via the way that we're going to do it is I'm going to feed you 2 transcripts from Ryan Tierney where he's turned around Spirit Metals. So you're going to have a look at his figures and see what he's done and go, if we did the same as what he did across these people, this is the impact that it would have on the Snowy Hydro project. We're going to start talking to dollars here. Stop talking fluff. We're going to start talking to dollars. Okay, does that all make sense? Not actually doing anything just yet. What you're doing is holding, and you and I are going to do this after we get off the... We're going to do it live tomorrow, but we're going to rewrite our banger for tomorrow first. But we're not doing it right now. At the moment, we've just got this in here for context. That's transcribing. Just make sure that he doesn't run off on a tangent. Try and do something he's not supposed to do. Yes, that all makes sense. I'm holding everything you just said laid out. The 2-pack. 2-pack is T-U-P-A-C, the wrapper. 2-pack. Right, so that's locked in. That's going to be tomorrow. We're going to do that. Do those calcs live. Here, I could sit here and do it by myself. What's the point? I might as well show you what I'm doing at the same time. All right. Go back to our post. Make sure. Of course, you've run off on a tangent. Choose your own adventure. Show all. What do we say we're going to do? There's Bainey. It's live at the minute. No, it's not. That's the old Bainey. There's Bainey live at the minute. No, it's not. $79 and 90. That's the one we want. He's live there. There he is. How poor information quietly multiplies effort as time goes. I think we've nailed that. Why complexity makes good people look slow and misaligned. How's anyone supposed to get anything done? There's quite literally 4.5 million communication points at any given time while on the project. How's that supposed to work? What we're currently doing. I don't imagine the amount of emails getting sent on this project. It must be insane. Must be through the roof. Simple operating pattern that stops effort leaking before Monday explodes again. Okay. Go back to Dr. Eli Goldratt's work. There's an exceptional video up on how do you holistically change an organisation. Works the same thing for a project. How do you holistically change the culture of a project? Number one rule, must be simple. Complexity cannot scale. We've already seen that. We've done the calcs. Well, they are. 2. This is mine now. We got off that. That was Dr. Eli Goldratt's bit, right? Second thing is, it needs to be visible. People need to be able to see what's going on. There's a reason why I use whiteboards. Even in this day and age of all the technology that's out there, this is my go-to tool. Always has been. Can't say always will be. Probably something better will come along at some point in time. But this, to get up and set up and run something like this process right here is all you need. You go to Officeworks and pick one of these up for about $90. It sticks on the wall. You don't need a permit. There's nothing that's going to stop us from getting up and running tomorrow. We need a pack of pens and we need the whiteboard. And we need to know a great process to start culling these communication lines, getting the information back to where it's actually manageable. G means we get to the Gemba. We go to the workplace and do it. That's why I keep saying, when I get to Snowy Hydro, I intend to. These videos at the moment are priming for when I get there. So I don't run in cold and people go, oh, what's he on about? What's he fucking talking to here? They've already seen. That's that bloke on fucking LinkedIn. He's always on about Snowy Hydro and lean and scrum and all the other things and great processes. And we're doing the work now. So we're going to get to the Gemba, the workplace. It needs to be easy to recognise. Put it on a whiteboard and we can see it quick and easy. I'm going to tell you why it's easy to recognise in a minute. See one, do one, teach one. That's it. It's got to be simple. Easy to do. Anyone can do this. It needs to be available at the point of use. We could put these up at each job front. We can also use the platform that I talked about called School, because no one's had more than 3 to 4 foot from their phone at any given time. We can spread this message by School. Then people need to be tested and trained to do it, which we do every day. Right. I stole this from some podcasts that I learned about how they teach doctors. What they need to do first is see one. So we make this process visible. We show them, we teach them how to see that waste. Exactly what I'm doing now. And this is the most highly leveraged way that you can show people do C1. It's what I'm doing right now. Doing social media with extreme confidence. This is very rare because people don't even know this stuff. Okay? Learn how to see waste. I'm going to teach them how do we create flow. We start culling, eliminating our communication lines that are bogging us down. Those 4.5 million lines that are killing us at the minute, killing the information. Go on. So they learn to see waste and flow. We do that at our daily brief in the mornings, pre-start, whatever it's called. They hit a point during the day where something's bogging them down. Whenever there's a struggle, there's waste. What do? We teach them to stop and fix it with the ORCA process, which I'm going to run through in a minute. That's called do one. Teach them how to see waste and flow. They go out in the paddock and they do it. They do an ORCA. Third part, and this is what really reinforces it and locks it in, is we capture our lessons learned via photos and videos. Because what they're doing when they're doing that is teaching someone. See one, do one, teach one. It's a loop, locks it in, feedback loop. Share it laterally across the organisation via Yokotan and School or Teams, whichever platform we decide to do it. And guess what we do the next day? We go back and we do it all again. All right. If you haven't seen the ORCA process before, I'm going to explain to you real quickly right now. This is how fighter pilots who were, the hit rate wasn't exactly high. They've been doing this for the last 60 years. They execute what they call flawlessly, not perfection. They execute their missions flawlessly, which means the mission gets done regardless of what goes wrong during the mission or what gets thrown at them during the mission. It gets complete. Nearly 99% of the time, because they follow this process. They debrief. As soon as they've finished the mission, they come back and they debrief. So the debrief is nameless, rankless, blameless. They don't do it an hour after they finish the mission. They go straight out of the planes, land the planes, down, boom, straight to the debrief room. Okay. First thing they speak to, what was the objective for the mission? They have a real clear objective that they've briefed. They've told people at the brief, this is what we're doing today. This is the mission. All right, completed the mission. What happened? What was the objective? What were the results? What were we supposed to do? Did we get it done or did we not get it done? Not interested in stories here. What was the objective? Did we do it? Yes, we put 100 metres of pipe in today. No, we didn't. We put 80 metres of pipe in today. What causes? What went wrong on the mission? What caused it? And they normally speak to positions here. As I said, they don't blame people. They don't go, fucking beanie didn't have the crane ready for us. It's like the crane team weren't ready to go. Okay? They list the causes. Sorry, I've got that back front. As many ORCAs as I've done, you'd think I would know this by now. Causes, ORCA. Well, I'll put results in twice. Last one, actions. What we're going to do tomorrow so it doesn't happen again. What we're going to do so the crane crew is ready to go when we need them to, so that we get our 100 metres of pipe in that we're forecasting that we're going to do every day. I use a wingman to do this, which we will, if you haven't seen one yet. I don't do this when I feel like doing it. I don't do it on the days when I've got enough time. It's the priority. It always gets done. Happens every day. Today is day 79 of set out. The original goal that I set was to have a 90-day streak where I did ORCA every single day. New shift. It is Tuesday, the 10th of February, 2026. Day 79 of 90. Set tasks, which were, that's really doing my head in, I've been the wrong colour. You'd probably say that's a bit strange if you know me, because I'm not really a details person, but I like my whiteboards to look consistent. This is a home ORCA. If I'm travelling, he dials the complexity back. Doesn't give me as much to do, because this is getting this done. Keeping the streak alive is the most important thing until it's locked and loaded. Pre-step, daily live. Did the daily live happen today? Daily live is in progress at the moment. Was there a moment you didn't almost go live? No, I actually woke up thinking about what I needed to speak to in the live, straight up. There was never ever any hesitation or a moment where I went, I'm not going to do it today. I've asked him to ask me that question because I'm mitigating the risk of falling off the wagon when I'm only 11 lives, 11 days from the end. Verify full kit. Complete once. Task 1, yes. Task 2, yes. Task 3, yes. So I've done the 3 tasks that I said I was going to do. The mission was complete. I completed it. Bit of water, getting a bit dry. How are we going for time today? 29, about half an hour, that's about right. State one objective. What was today's one objective? The outreach is a key objective at the moment. So I teed that up yesterday and that's in progress at the moment. That's one key objective at the moment, is get a contact on Snow Hydro and to get on site. That is my objective. Yes, the objective was achieved. Because until I've done that, everything else is a distraction. That's what I need to get done. As I alluded to earlier, actually, it runs in my mind a bit what I need to be speaking to and how I come up with the stories and how I'm going to tell I do a lot of rehearsal, practice, deliberate practice in my mind before I actually run the daily live. I woke up doing the daily lives this morning. It wasn't something I had to think about when I'm going to do it, what I'm going to speak about, how I'm going to get there. It's just second nature. It's running. Program's running all the time at the moment. Decisions are easy because I have a very clear objective, which is to get on Snow Hydro, and all the content is directed at that at the moment, which removes decision fatigue about what audience I'm going to speak to, and it removes the constraints around what issues that I should be speaking to. Wingman, of course, I use multiple wingman, even used one on this live. Well, actually, we've introduced a new way to use a wingman on the live where we did some calculations. It's just to show people how we start integrating AI into use in the construction industry without worrying about all the nonsense. Let's just use it to do what it's really good at to start with, which is be our wingman and our strategic thought partner to enhance us. There's an interesting video that Peter Demand has put up, someone actually. Jarvis, this clawbot, I'm not up with it yet, and not putting it on my computer. There's a lot of security concerns and stuff like around it, which I'll assume will be addressed and fixed very quickly. Basically, if you want Jarvis, you can have one. It's here already. Behavioural, mental rehearsal, deliberate practice, live run without friction, decision, single focus on Snowy Hydro, content aligned to that who. Constraints removed, audience topic, ambiguity, decision fatigue, wingman used, multiple wingmen used of live integration as a strategic thought partner. Calendar branch. Tomorrow is a Wednesday, so it's a weekday. Actions for tomorrow. Verify full kit. Ordinary things. When done consistently, produce extraordinary results. Weekday, 80 of 90. We're getting there. We're nearly there. Verify full kit before first task. Verified, not verified. Complete one Snow Hydro targeted outreach. Run the daily live. Daily execution index. 3 from 3. We're going to run a visual loop today. Daily execution index is 3 from 3. Yes, let's run the visual loop, please. Let's run the visual loop to see if there's much of a change, whether we're still in some sort of a pattern. One result that moved closer today was a DM via LinkedIn. To someone that's actually on the Snowy. Has the potential to get me on there as well. One identity statement you proved true. I don't deliver effort. Actually, the identity statement's this. going to go to book, funnily enough, compound effect. In here, it's got the complete formula for getting lucky, which I've been following. It is prep, personal growth, attitude, don't turn up, belief, mindset, opportunity. There's an opportunity, all right. Action, daily lives. When you got those all lined up, preparation, attitude, opportunity, and action, guess what? You get lucky. One way or the other. One decision that reduced future effort. One decision that reduced future effort. Decision is that I'm going to keep talking to this snowy series. Will continue until I'm on the project. Continuity marker is, of course, my big ass calendar. I'll try and write this so give him half a chance of being able to read it. Mark off my days. Every single day as I do two actually. I do one there, it goes on, transfers onto the big ass calendar as well. Why I do two, I don't know, because I had that one going before. Probably don't need to do that one anymore, but it's staying for now. It's not going at the moment. It's working. I'm not changing it. I still like you doing it. All right, let's get a photo of that. Should have done that. ChatGPT, so I should have done it. Creates an extra step, that's waste. This is the visual reflection loop. That's how quick waste can slip in. I'll take a photo, then I'll go back and upload it. Why? Just go straight to ChatGPT, tap it there, take the photo, done. 9%, everything that we do every single day is non-value added activity. ORCA day 79 and 90 closed. Daily live, risk check, no. Execution index 3 from 3, streak intact. Tomorrow, Wednesday, weekday mode. 3 must do tasks. That's it. See you tomorrow. That is it. And we will see you tomorrow. And if you haven't already watched it, here's a 2-pack video. Why we're going to speak to this tomorrow. Take it, use it, make it a great week. Actually no, we won't. We'll play that tomorrow. We'll play this. Cause 10 or 12 there's 12 causes of project failure, and number 10 is communication, which we just spoke to. Take it, use it, make it a great week. You know someone on Snowy, send them my way or reach out and let me know who I should be speaking to. Speak soon. There's 12 causes of project failure, and number 10 is information management. Your site doesn't have just an information management problem, it has an information flow problem. There's info buried in inboxes. You got drawings and work packs that are out of date, and no one even knows the correct revision that they're supposed to be working on, so they will guess. That's not miscommunication, it's information chaos. If you want to fix it, map the flow. Name the owner who's the single point of accountability to make it happen. Build one source of truth and make it visual. Clarity kills chaos. It's as simple as that.